The London FACEIT Major continues. We're into the Legends stage, and already our fair share of upsets. This has been pandemonium to kick off our first day of the Legends stage. Legends have fallen by the wayside for those challengers, and maybe, just maybe, it could continue. TyLoo, the beast from Asia, has once again managed to make a statement. Much more than ever before, though, as they've managed to secure a spot in the top 16. This is a first for a Chinese team managing to qualify to this stage of the Major, and they're writing history with every round they play, but standing in their way is MiBR. It is, of course, the legendary Brazilian core combined with the hard hitters from the Major champions themselves. It was, of course, Cloud9 who did that. And where are they now, I hear you ask? Well, they're hanging out in MiBR. Tarek and Stewie combining that to make a full force fist.
Yeah, and they're looking hot. I think before we get too far ahead of ourselves with the new changes that Valve have brought in, just so everyone at home is up to speed.
Agreed, yeah.
Any team that has won the opening matchup is guaranteed a spot within the next Major. Sure, they may have to play in that challenger stage, but they're guaranteed to be there. They're guaranteed those beautiful stickers. So that means Complexity, Team Liquid,
yeah,
G2, and Big are all in the next phase. Whereas FaZe and Fnatic have now dropped down, and the teams that go 0 and 3 have to battle back through the minors. So this could get scary for some of these squads.
Yeah, I mean, that is actually really, I'm really kind of gutted we didn't mention it as it happened,
yes,
right? Because it was so exciting, the fact that Big, you beat FaZe 16-5, and immediately you're safe. You are safe, and you'll be coming back. All that hard work in the challenger stage is rewarded. TyLoo, supposedly,
they've done it before. It was 3 years ago. They did it. They beat, well, they weren't SK Gaming, they were Luminosity then. It was on Mirage, but
yeah,
you have to really roll back the years.
Yeah. We do. And indeed, they've changed a lot since their performance in Sweden. So we're going to go ahead and talk about MiBR. Sean, what a roster this is.
Yeah, this new MiBR roster has definitely proven its worth. I mean, they put a lot of money into this roster by picking up Stewie and Tarek, who've been playing super well for them, actually. coldzera, obviously, stud.
God.
Yes. And then they have Fur and Fallen to round it out. Like, they have the dream lineup. They can't really ask for anything better if they were to only pick up North American players. And they pick up Yanko as their coach.
Yes. Well, that's exciting, isn't it, to have one of us standing on the other side of things for once?
Yeah, from observing to the analyst desk to coaching. He really has climbed up that ladder and finds himself at the tippy top. He's going to be trying to form MiBR back to where they were. I think that's actually an interesting angle, right, Sean? These guys have lost some of that touch since they changed the language by which they communicate.
They definitely have. And another thing that makes it a little bit uncomfortable for them is their spots have to change a little bit. Like, if you watch them on Overpass, you see Stewie and Tarek kind of anchoring down the B bomb sites. I guess sometimes Cold will anchor down with Stu, but that's not really something that he's used to, right? But he's come up big in his role, and we actually saw an interview with him recently that says he thinks he's a better player now than he was on Cloud9.
Yeah, that's an interesting angle.
Yeah, I think when you get to learn under a great mind like Fallen, and in the sense of his approach to the game, and you get to sit there and watch the POV of coldzera in situations that you could never possibly imagine, you learn a lot very quickly. These guys obviously have a huge amount of experience. They've won 2 majors. That core of this team, Fur, coldzera, and Fallen, they are fantastic players, and they all have different, very unique roles within this team. And you bring in Stu and you bring in Tarek, who actually to me seem like a very similar style of player, quite aggressive, but you tame them, you teach them the way that you want to play the game. Their firepower is on par with that core, with that trio. You get rid of Bolt, you get rid of Taco. I know that they had that mental weighing them down with all the roster change. Obviously they had the change of organization, but I think they're back and more focused than ever before.
There was a glimmer, wasn't there? A little glimmer in their eye when we first got to see them, of course, step into Stockholm. That was where they first made their debut after the dust had settled and they had the player break. It was time to see what Yanko had done with the roster, and there was real positive signs. Now more time has passed, and we wait to see exactly what MiBR will be showing face at the Major. Their opponents, though, it's TyLoo. This is a roster like nothing else, and game style like nothing else. Chad, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I think somebody has to be noted here. This is his coming out event, I suppose, playing so consistently throughout that challenger stage with an I guess, predictable style. You know, you've had the likes of JW, you've had the likes of Fur, they go hyper-aggressive, but somebody has taken that to a completely another level. You sign that up with a bit of execute on the AWP, and Ben Bentet being the Indonesian superstar that he is, and this team has looked extremely competitive. Sure, they've had some close matchups. Sure, there's been some times where I've sat there and questioned their decision-making, but they're making it work. And this is what used to be exciting about Chinese teams back in the 1.6 days, was they weren't doing the normal style. They were doing their own thing, and they were making it work.
Let it be known, in the Challenger stage, they went right down to the wire. They were in the best of 3 elimination game. One game separating them and writing history for their nation. This was against Spirit. They picked it up convincingly and tested Spirit to a fine degree. It was Renegades and Gambit that fell to get them those 3 wins. However, let it be known that both of their losses were close. What was it, triple, quadruple overtime versus Optic?
They probably should have won that game.
Yeah.
I think just some, inexperience with calling let them down there. But these are the type of games where if they can get it to being that close, it doesn't really matter who their opponent is because they have players who are able to come up clutch no matter what.
Yeah, and I want to just quick point, just touch on that somebody conversation because he has, we say unpredictable aggression, but surely if the fact that we know about it means MiBR know about it, and if you see a smoke, you're going to be looking at it, right?
But that's the thing is it's really weird to plan for stuff like that as a pro because you're conditioned to kind of pick up roles in a certain way. Like the first 2 guys enter a bomb site, second guy's meant to trade, third guy, may hold that smoke. But somebody might come through at a very awkward time that doesn't really help his teammate at all. And that's what's catching teams off guard right now.
Right, so it's the fact that it doesn't make sense. You hear players say that a lot. This doesn't make sense.
The clip we highlighted on the overpass match against Spirit where they actually had a move. The Molotov was thrown, the flash came in, he pushed for information, he didn't find a kill. They then opted to go back to Sandbag, boost him up knowing the area was clear, they had to come out squeaky. He got the kill there, but then, remember highlighting it, he pushes a teammate's smoke that's landing behind him at some super awkward timing and finds 2 more kills.
Yeah, and he is featured in our head-to-head. It's brought to you by The Predator, which is in cinemas September 14th, up against Fur. What an interesting parallel to draw. And Chad, when you were kind of requesting this one, you made an interesting comparison into the names you'd give their aggression.
Yeah, so I think if you look at somebody's aggression, it's untamed and it's completely unpredictable, whereas Fur's is done with a purpose. Within the system, within the team, we may sit here and we may watch him go aggressive and go, well, this is just silly. He makes it work, but it doesn't really make sense in team-based Counter-Strike. The fact of the matter is the information and the impact that he gives his team from those moves that he has is huge. We can't sit there and hear everything that they're saying and understand what they've prepared, but you can see in the way that the rest of the players on this roster react to him either getting a kill or a death, that there are a lot of predetermined, pre-planned moves. So Furs makes sense. Somebody's, at least to my understanding, is just whatever he feels, he's just doing it.
And Bentet, actually, an interesting conversation. For anyone that hasn't been following the Challenger stages, I just have to get this out there because he is in-game leading, top fragging at times, and communicating in 3 different languages. Yes. He is the waypoint between the Indonesian, Chinese, and some English. This is how it's working, which does reflect in their gameplay, though, Sean. Right? I mean, you can see the cracks in their T side when comms is
exactly.
dying.
You'll see their comms die out completely. People will start making really boneheaded plays, not really supporting each other at all. But honestly, you have to give him credit because he's juggling 3 different languages at the same time, and he's a star fragger for their team. I honestly have no idea how he does it.
Well, their mid-round obviously sucks, right? That's the fact of the matter
is
terrible. When we saw them having success on Inferno, it's where they just group up with 5 men and they either lure you into aggression and execute, or they're just hoping that you will give them the space to do a full execution on them. When you look at maps, this is why Mirage and Cache are good maps for these guys, right? Because it's so much more free-flowing. If they take space, they can actually move with that space and they can punish you. It doesn't take as much from the in-game leader to bring everybody back together. All right, guys, let's go back. Let's just execute. It's just basically take the space and run with it, and you can flow off each other much easier.
And I'm so glad you start talking about maps because I want to get that veto done because I think it's going to be influencing our conversation quite dramatically. And before that we summon it too far, pause. No, pause. Gentlemen, there's 3 maps that you suggest TyLoo are strong on. Sean, you were talking about it just before we came on.
Yeah, pretty much. If I were MiBR, I would stray from Mirage and Cache. They're 10-2 in their important Mirage games lately. They're 6-1 on Cache. Inferno, they have a losing record on. I mean, they won a few games, in the Challenger stage. They looked all right on Inferno, but I still think MiBR would outclass them on Inferno. Yeah. I think MiBR can get this veto to go to Train or Overpass if they wanted to, and that would be the play.
Yeah, that's bluffing Nuke through because neither team plays Nuke, right? So the question is, does MiBR have the balls to float it through? Or not the balls, but maybe the necessity. Are they more than happy just to play? Because likely it is going to be that Inferno, right? That is the most likely scenario in this situation.
Let's start rolling through it and find out exactly where it does end up. So Mirage is what many assume to be a map that should be taken away by MiBR. Overpass is taken away despite seeing TyLoo play it and pull it out versus Spirit.
So TyLoo have floated it here, right? So the fact of the matter is that means MiBR will probably just ban it themselves. They don't want to touch that map at all. It's not one that they play. So here you're going to be expecting, hopefully, please Yanko, get rid of Mirage, because I definitely don't want to be seeing that one come into the pool.
Cash Mirage, one would assume.
So TyLoo will probably get to pick between Inferno and Train, and then MiBR will get the choice of side.
Thank you, Yanko.
So this is good. Like, they're not being arrogant here at all, right? Inferno probably being the third best map for that of TyLoo. And your MiBR with teams who have won majors, you are more than comfortable to play a team on their third best map. So there's no dramas there.
And let's not forget that actually the 4 of the 5 players stepping into the ring here, under the SK banner, they actually lost to TyLoo in an offline environment on Mirage. It was at IEM Sydney where they got their tutorial on Chinese Mirage, and I don't think they'll be going back there anytime soon, at least not here when every win matters. The first win in particular, of course, picking up this win does mean you will no longer have to fight through the minors.
I'm just curious here with little bits and pieces if Yanko has adjusted a lot within this team. Now, you could go back and you could all the finer details, but when you looked at like weaknesses of this team when Stewie first came in, Stewie was AWPing on the B-bomb site, and the argument was, well, Fallen says if I feel that I'm comfortable with it, I can do it. Which to me it would be, Fallen is an amazing AWPer, top 3 in the world. Please let him keep the AWP. If you want to have the AWP somewhere else, let Cold Zero use it over towards Archside. Just little details like that. It's going to be interesting to see how they've moved it all around.
Preference, though, definitely is a conversation in itself, and we haven't got time for it, because it is time to put money where your mouth is. Is anybody going to be backing the TyLoo boys? Is this going to be an MiBR prediction fest?
Fallen has played extremely well on CT Inferno. Actually, it's his best map right now. I'm definitely backing MiBR because Yanko has brought some magic back to Fallen.
Gentlemen, joining us as well, Moses and Anders in the house. And you looked at each other as if someone was about to do something stupid.
I think Anders wanted to punch me.
Oh, really?
He's been doing that.
He did his whole boxing thing.
He does this thing again?
He just did it at me instead of at the camera, which was cool.
It's all that testosterone from all these workouts. He's starting to get a bit aggy.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I need your predictions.
MiBR.
MiBR. And Anders, what are you saying?
I can't go last. I really wish I could.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'll give you that. You can have that. Yeah. These graphics guys are wizards. Chaddy, what are you saying?
Made in Brazil are back, top 4 at the major.
Top 4 at the major. He likes to make these statements. And that leaves me and Anders. I'm going to go for MiBR as well, I believe. Since there's no Mirage, I might have had a trouble if it was going into a Mirage.
I dare you. You little scary
Anders,
cat.
go on.
Do that little grin on your face.
Do it.
All right, I'll pick TyLoo then.
You idiot.
We're keeping track of these,
He's actually
Anders.
been baited into it.
You say that.
They have impressed. They've beaten this roster before, at least the core. Let's find out how good this game can
Moses.
be. Gentlemen, we'll leave it with you.
Thanks, guys. Oh, you're dumb.
Yeah, but hopefully it's entertaining at least. That's got to be the minimum, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, listen, if you guys want to follow along with us throughout this major, the Upcomer app, check that out at the website. You're going to see coming up. You can get all the stats, all the highlights, and obviously you get to have input on who you think's going to win this game, and you can prove Anders wrong, like the rest of us.
No, listen. Oh, I've got 16% with me, Moses.
You get 16% of the people.
That's a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie. There's got to be hundreds of thousands of people watching. You know, I feel like I'm.
All those votes from China, there's probably 16% probably is a good amount of people.
Yeah, exactly right, Moses. Yeah. We might even be in the majority, in spite of.
I don't think that's how it works.
Listen,
I know we talked about mass this whole past week.
Listen, their votes might not have gone through, Moses. We might need a recount at some point.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about this game. I mean, MiBR are definitely looking like they're on their way back, and they're such a strong team. They're one of those teams. I mean, you know, if you had to make an argument for my side of things, you could say that Fnatic have a strong lineup, and so do FaZe, and they've all lost today.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's entirely. I don't think that entirely is going to transfer over to these guys. Here's what they had a conversation of like what Yanko might change strategically within this team, and you know, it's kind of hard for the public to know the way that we know from essentially living with Yanko for the past 3 years on this travel and everything around the world. His kind of strength of character and the discipline that he brings to his work, and I think that's the main thing that he's contributing to this team, is getting them to buckle down and get disciplined and get more focused and, you know, actually get hungry again. And in that sense, I think that is going to be too much for TyLoo. Those kind of crazy plays we saw people making in that overtime game against Spirit, those aren't going to work here against MiBR.
Well, you might well be right, Moses. We'll find out right now. MiBR starting on the CT side, TyLoo on the T side, and already the fight has begun here at top banana. Stewie somehow surviving in Cold Zero. Great backup. This is such a nice trap being set. There was a long fight happening there, but it could have gone horribly wrong. But Stewie going to pick up the kill on Captain Mo. And whatever TyLoo had planned, it is just not going to work out. That initial fight from Stewie landed about 2 seconds longer than I would have wanted if I was in that position. But when they come out alive, it's all good.
Yeah, that was very close. He could have easily gone down. Now they're forcing a wrap side. Cold Zero is going to end both of them. That is unreal. Cold Zero is a player who kind of in their boot camp and through Stockholm and leading up to this event. You know, I've been told, I'm not sure why Stewie wasn't spotted. This flashbang came out late. But Cold Zero, I've been told, has, by Yanko, that he's never seen him more focused. Like, more set to the plan, to the task at hand.
That should make everyone scared, right? Yeah. Nobody wants to hear those words when you're going into a match against him because, yeah, well, we've all seen what he can do when he's really hitting his A game. And it is terrifying for everybody involved. Second round now coming up, and there are some purchases, actually a lot of purchases into this round for TyLoo. And MiBR making damn sure that no one's going to be rushing them down on banana. A lot of firepower there.
Even with this setup, Stewie far back, even if they want to do a late flashbang, Fallen should be able to dodge it. There's only 2 flashes, 2 smokes for the TyLoo side. One of those will have to be for the CT cross if they want to come here. I guess the one weakness in this setup is the fact that there's no M4. There's the SMG. Stewie's going to back away with his 1 kill. Fallen had 1, so thinning the herd, but TyLoo not nearly close enough to pressure before the reinforcements and the safety arrives for Stewie.
Yeah, the follow-up smoke there towards CT spawn and towards the coffins. Stewie looking for a bit more. He's going to land 1 more headshot. Finally gets taken down. So they've lost some SMGs and a good kill for Bented. That's actually picking up the MP9. So a lot of money in his pockets, even if they can't win the round. There's also a FAMAS that's now been traded instead. That grenade not quite going to catch Bentet. And Captain Mo waiting by the new boxes, or by the dark now instead, with the deagle in hand. Tarek wants to take that peek around the corner. That's very dangerous. He does set it up, and Tarek will get 1, and now Captain Mo trapped out in the open behind the pillar, and he's got no chance. Cold Zero will take him down. An expensive round, but they managed to recover it.
Far more expensive than I thought it was going to be. Fur coming through that smoke was really a tough decision to make. He goes for it, gets punished, and into a 2-on-2. A great round from TyLoo, especially with that bomb plant to help really kind of bolster their own economy while they ruined MiBR's. 2-0 though, either way. Now the rifles come out for the MiBR side, and this is important as well because there's going to be a couple deagles on the board. I don't know if TyLoo's going to buy any utility or anything like that, but these M4s are way, way more expensive than the SMGs, obviously. So if they lose 2 or 3 of these and aren't able to salvage on, aren't able to trade up or anything like that, then you're going to have a pretty busted MiBR economy going into the first quote-unquote gun round.
Well, there were 3 people waiting on the T-ramp for Fur to make that jump, but they just can't connect in time. Kind of difficult to get that gap shot off, but you're right. Don't want to give any of these rifles away. That would be a silly way to begin MiBR.
Smoke going down deep, and you have the same setup as last time. This time Stewie's the close player, and I think the important change is that M4 that Fallen has at range. That's what they didn't have last time. They had 2 SMGs, and Stewie wasn't able to mow them down the way he would have liked. TyLoo patiently waiting behind the smoke. They don't have any flashbangs to pop through it, so they've just kind of got to sit here. Cold Zero spots 1 in Boiler, and that's going to be the call for everyone to back off. Fur kind of takes a few steps back. Cold Zero gets back deeper into the site. Allow that crossfire between him and Tarek to really come to fruition.
And normally we're not big fans of really defensive CT plays, but when you're up against pistols like this, it's kind of fine because, oh my god, Captain Mo. Now it's a bit dangerous because they're kind of wrapped or sort of trapped inside of the bomb site. Cold Zero here. It's 1 good kill. Bentet wants to follow it up, but they're walking in 1 at a time, and he is shutting it down right now. Not enough pressure on from the other side, leaving Tarek available as well, so whatever chances there were, they've pretty much disappeared in spite of a good opening there on Fur. Not able to make it happen. 3-0 in favor of MiBR, and a good stoppage from Cold Zero. 7-0 in his favor right now. But now we get to the first real chance here when TyLoo have rifles.
And this will be the question, especially because Cold Zero has that AWP now. Chad mentioned just give it to Fallen. Let him be that top 3 opper in the world that we know he can. We do see on this map, though, Cold Zero pick it up more frequently than other maps, especially on the CT side. So here we go.
Yeah, See if we can get any of that craziness that we saw out of TyLoo earlier in the major and the challenger stage. Definitely was wild watching them play Inferno.
They've got plenty of utility. The dangerous part for me, I want to see how they handle an AWP. 3 Molotovs down the length of Banana. You can see how much of a nightmare it is to try and fight for Banana control. Looks like TyLoo is going to try and hit a timing at this A bomb site. coldzera and Tarek to hold pit.
Well, looks like they bumped into each other slightly. They're being slowed down just a bit, and coldzera will pick up that first one. Great kill from the pit, and now Tarek holding up on the balcony, ready in case anyone comes out of the apps. He's looking for a little bit of an edge. They're actually going to jump down behind them. This is a really good move from Tarek to take down Xcurate, and Moore is following. Bentet going to be taking him down in return. So a 3-on-3, and somebody hiding in the corner. That's a big kill. Finally, they get rid of the pit player in coldzera. Now it's all on Fallen. He runs right through the headshot, turning around and spraying through the smoke. He's half health as well. Flashbang on Bentet on the other side, but Fallen not going to follow through. Instead, he's thinking he's gone down into the pit. This play from Bentet is just incredible.
He's got him beat.
Yeah, how do you get up into... He's not even in graveyard. He's actually just down on the low ground, ready and waiting, and Fallen, he has got no idea whatsoever there. That's a big surprise. What a move. Triple for Bentet, and TyLoo pick up their first rifle round.
I thought that was going to be a much stronger defense. Tarek, unfortunately, I mean, they just smoke off pit and get into the bomb site, and Tarek, I think, was frustrated. Once he jumps down, it's a cool play. He gets that 1 kill, but then he realized he can be sandwiched from Boiler, and that hesitance kind of wrecks him a little bit there. Great one-on-one from Bentet, repositioning after Fallen had spotted his position through the smoke with the tracers. Yeah, that's just a clean win for him. There's no way for Fallen to kind of be able to predict that and actually win that round. So first gun run on the board for TyLoo. And now they have the op in this man's hands. Xcurate has been stunning throughout the challenger stage with the AWP. If he continues it here, it's going to get a very fun game. That's a nice find. Some spam in towards holes. That's going to force Fur back automatically.
Yeah, they wanted to go for a bit of a trap setup, but that does pretty much cancel it out. And you are right. Xcurate has been great fun watching. I wonder if MiBR, I mean, they will have obviously had a slight bonus in being able to watch some of these Inferno games from TyLoo. So
yeah,
a lot of pressure on the TyLoo team to not just repeat what they did during Challenger, even if that worked, right? You still have to be a little bit more... Oh, wow. That is a way to shut down that offense. Xcurate and Bentet, both the Indonesian players in one bullet.
That's why you give Daddy the op. Just peeks right into an Xcurate who's set up, ready and waiting. Out-duels him. Captain Mo's got to pick up the bomb, which pretty much makes DD and somebody... They just have to make individual plays on their own, and Fallen's rotated over. That's swift. DD doesn't even see the shot before he hits the floor.
Just being stopped by one AWP.
This is the biggest obstacle they've had on their T-sides across most maps, is just the inability to kind of handle and neutralize the AWP. Finally, Captain Mo is able to find that pick, but it's going to be such a tall task to break into this bomb site.
Yeah, especially with the flank that's already happened. Stewie's holding the middle, so the rest definitely know there's only 15 seconds, and they need a straight instant headshot jumping through, and somebody's already down. Captain Mo will follow. Good hold from coldzera, but either way, that would have been very difficult. So, swiftly back in the hands of MiBR as they are now ahead, 4-1. And that AWP, I mean, I guess it's a little bit absurd when it's a 2-for-1 shot that comes out. Yeah. If it had been just a 1 kill for Fallen, maybe TyLoo could have said, okay, let's quickly change this pace now. Let's not play slow against this because it's not going to work out. But when it's 2-for-1, you just feel like, well, now we're 5-on-3. What are we supposed to do?
It is a tough question, and they've actually had to fight through that. I mean, they've had some slow starts in their T-sides. We'll see if they can recover from this one, but as we go on, they are going to have to figure out this AWP. It's in Cold's hands again. Remember, he got a pick in the previous gun round as well, the one that they lost, but they need to find ways to make progress, attack bomb sites, and get map control without losing players, and this time it's Stewie with the AK-47. A little bit of a gap underneath that smoke. Able to get a free kill. TyLoo again playing in a man-down situation.
Yes, they are in... Even with just the pistols here, it'd be nice to apply some pressure to the MiBR economy. You really want to set yourself up for... Eventually, when you start to win a couple more rounds here on the T side, you want to be able to force them into that eco scenario. So every kill is going to make a difference. That was the first picked up in the game. So good to get him on the scoreboard. And now that he's got himself warmed up, can start to do a little bit more.
They have the economic pressure applied at the moment. Before these kills came out, they had everyone below 1,000. Problem is, You can't have a round like this where MiBR straps with all 5. Captain Mo waiting with the Zeus, hoping to tase somebody, and look at how patient. MiBR doesn't care. Fallen and Stewie just walking around behind. I don't think this Zeus is going to do anything. coldzera knows exactly where he is as well. There's the frag from behind.
Well, he was patient. He really wanted it.
You got to give it to him.
Yeah, setting us up for a bit of entertainment. We all do love, especially hearing people get Zeused.
Yeah, that's the best part. It's the noise it makes.
Do you want to try and imitate it, Moses? You want to give it a shot?
Not at the majors, Anders. Let's keep things. Let's keep the level of gravitas. You know.
All right. We'll do our very best.
If I ever see a Zeus kill, I'll do it.
All right. 5-1, and 7th round coming up now with, again, sort of a half buy going into it here for TyLoo. Their economy has really been suffering from that incredibly early reset. Looked like they were about to do something great early on in the first half here, but they've really been slowed down. I think MiBR, I mean, we sort of talked a little bit about Fnatic and maybe FaZe 2 having some, like a slow start, not mentally being on the same level as the rest of the teams here. Can't really say that about MiBR right now. They're looking incredibly fit.
I'm with Chad on this one. You know, I think at some point I've said I think they're going to get top 4 at the major. I completely agree with him. I think this team, it's weird almost like, I don't know if you can pick them as like a dark horse because of like just the roster, but you certainly can due to the results recently, and I think they're going to come into this major looking very, very sharp. Fallen with 1 kill, Stewie as well. He does get traded off, but fine with it so far. Fallen going in now with his teammates flashbang. He waited for it, spots DD completely blind, stops the plant. What a sequence from Fallen. The captain's got 4 kills, and he's put his team at a 6-1 lead.
Shutting it down, not even a bomb plant being allowed for, and they can still buy here on the TyLoo side, but they would have had so much more if they could have got that bomb plant through. So really well done, 6-1, and when Fallen is playing like this and coldzera is 2, they got 13-3 on Fallen and 10-1 on coldzera. That has to be just a bad sign.
Right? Those are like the 2 players you really don't want going off, and it's Fallen without even the AWP for the most part. He could decide to pick it up in this round if he wanted. And yeah, he's going to. So they drop the Galil over. Stewie's going to use that. And I think this is the ultimate nightmare for TyLoo. I don't know if they're going to have what it takes. And MiBR taking a timeout as they switch into a new defensive setup, talk things over. Make sure everyone's on the same page. That timeout coming to an end now. And here we go.
It would feel like sort of almost a homecoming if MiBR started playing well just to this tournament, right? It would feel like it was about time.
Yeah.
Because they had such a big presence and there was a bit of a void that was left when they started sort of falling a bit apart.
Yeah, but I think you had to have known it was going to come back, this resurgence of MiBR, because watching them play, it's not like they were fundamentally playing the game wrong. It's just, it seemed like individuals just weren't playing as well as we know they can.
Yeah.
So you had to have known as soon as that kind of flip switches in their head and they start getting back to that level, they're going to start being a tough opponent again.
Wow. Talking about tough. Fallen actually made that jump with 3 people waiting down at the bottom of Banana, so that's incredibly risky, but it works out. Now they've got another bit of a bait set up here. coldzera going to take the first shot. It looks like there's going to be a bit of a jump. Oh my god, he hits the shot anyway. And xCrit down to 22. That was somebody just baiting for the other one. That was supposed to be a bit of a fake, but works out beautifully.
Bold for coldzera to take the jump as well, especially when you have Tarek there. You imagine that he would just leave the jump for Tarek and make sure you stay aimed in on the ult that's about to peak. But yeah, picks him out of the sky, pins him to the wall, whatever you want to say. Look at the damage on TyLoo as well. There's a minute left in the round, and it almost feels like, and they got 3 smokes and 1 flashbang, but it almost feels like a certain degree like you just kind of got to say, save. And I mean, look at these. This is what scares me with TyLoo facing off against AWPs in this map. If you look at the one that Fallen got and the one that coldzera got, there hasn't really been a great opportunity for a trade. Like, only if that op shot hits on the peak. But you can't be bleeding these players out and not gain anything for it.
No, and one of the things I think we definitely saw out of TyLoo in the Challenger stage was that they were kind of a little bit fearless when it came to some of this stuff, right? So maybe that's the way to go back and just try and say, okay, if we slow play, we are going to get picked off. That's a nice shot from xCrit, taking down Stewie. Now pushing through the smoke has Fallen. This is madness, but it's exactly the kind of play we expect out of him. And he's back through again. Oh my god! No scoping Bentet before the bomb goes down. Out of control. And xCrit going to be dropped as well. Fallen now with 16-3. This is the world-class level play that we expect and we love to see.
That makes me so excited to see Fallen making these plays again. This is what has been lacking at MiBR when they were having to slump. That kind of aggressiveness, that kind of creative playmaking through the smoke, waiting for the flashbang as well. It's intelligently designed. And he's able to punish and fall away. This is going to be a tough MiBR team in this major. 7-1 now against TyLoo.
Don't care how early in the morning you get up, Moses, you're not going to be able to prepare for that kind of thing, are you? Like, that smoke is down, you know it's the AWP on the other side. You don't expect him to come through twice or even a third time trying to get you down alone. That's incredible. 7-1, 9th round now, starting off. TyLoo, they look like they've definitely met their match.
Yes, but they've had this kind of a slow start on Inferno before on the T side, where they've gone down, 6-1, 6-0, especially to Ops, and they've been able to figure it out in the past, at least in the challenger stage. As we've mentioned a couple times, this MiBR team is going to be a whole new level for them to have to overcome, but don't count them out just yet. Fallen on the wrap side, takes his time with that shot. Captain Mo gets a bullet in the hip.
Cold Syrup, both the AWPs here at the A-bomb site, and this is a very nasty angle. It'll be very hard to see it coming, and DD just doesn't. He's going to be down as well. This is a round with just pistols, so slight bit more forgivable if TyLoo were going to end up not having much of an impact, and they are going to get chewed up here in the middle. It's not a bad kill for somebody, at least getting the one down on Fur, but it's still 8-1, and if they were going to make an adjustment to try and fight the AWPs, then now's the time for it.
Yeah, certainly. And I almost wouldn't mind seeing a I just went Canadian or something.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't mind seeing a timeout out of them, just to talk things over, have a little bit of a breather. Seems like they're trying to do this on the fly. Either way, another chance for FACEIT to see how he stacks up against some of the better operators in the scene. He's going to have an AWP, and last time we saw him with this, he was just posted up to challenge for an up peek, and looks like they want to pick up the aggression, but here's all those Molotovs to slow everything down. DD burning, has to use a smoke. They want to challenge for top banana, but there's 3 players here.
Yeah, they were actually looked like they were boosting, expecting Fallen to be up on the wall again, and he isn't this time, so they've been sort of riding out the initial threat here. Maybe they can establish that banana control and make a push for it. Fur in the corner, instant headshot taking down DD. That's a big beginning now. Stewie, and they're just shooting as they're falling back, so it's a bit of covering fire as they're retreating back around the corner. Not bad at all.
Look how much utility TyLoo has had to burn in this round, and they still haven't even gained control of that car. They're going to have to use at least one more flashbang just to be safe. Stewie's going to counter flash peek. He sees nothing. Counter flash comes in for TyLoo, and they've spent about a minute to get control of banana and lost one player in doing it. And they have nothing else on the map. It seems like they're going to be lured into this hit, and you've got Fur and you've got Stewie here.
Yeah, if they can smoke off Fur, maybe they can challenge Stewie, but otherwise it's going to get really tricky. There's the smoke. Grenade lands on 2. That's not bad. Good refrag as well from Bentet, but I don't know how Fur got that kill, but he did right on somebody. Now they're going to try and bomb plant again. The last couple of times they've been interrupted in the middle of it. This time they actually make it work. But FACEIT is on 7 health, and Bentet's going to go down to Tarek before anything even happens, so near impossible situation here. 1 versus 4. He's going to pick up the 1 kill. Ready as they come around the corner. The flick does actually connect. That's not bad, and even at this point, it's kind of impressive that he stayed alive, but he's not going to be able to win the round, and just going to be another round here. Good kill again. Now 9-1 scoreline favoring MiBR. They are just looking so good.
All they could do is hope they chased him and did some economic damage by taking people out. Nice hold and nice job at banana for Fur, Stewie, and Fallen. They burned so much time off the clock to the point where it just seems like they've just limited TyLoo's only options to hitting that bomb site, which is exactly what they wanted. Even with a 9-1 lead and 6 rounds in a row, MiBR are going to take their next tactical timeout. Coach Yanko taking the belt off, making sure they're all staying disciplined.
Yeah. Why is he so intimidating, Yanko? He's not, he's not such a big guy, is he? He's fit, obviously, but
it's the Serbian factor.
It is the Serbian factor, isn't it? Just makes you naturally a little bit intimidated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, good for them if they can stay hungry that way. That's still pretty cool. Don't want to see some of these top teams start to take anything for granted. I'm sure they're not right now. 9-1 in their favor. 11th round is about to come in here, and I don't know what TyLoo need. They definitely need to find a way to break the AWP setup. They can't really get banana control. I mean, it's very, very hard to do that when there are so many grenades on the other side.
I think they might have to give it up at some point. I want to try some kind of a timing over at the A bomb site. There needs to be some level of aggression in this TyLoo team that we're not seeing at the moment.
Unhook some of these players.
They kind of had it in that 4th round because they just didn't have a whole lot of utility. They almost had to be aggressive. And now that they've got the nades and they've got the utility to work with, they've obviously Fallen has beaten them up enough times to train them into a more passive nature.
Taking some parting shots as he does exit that corner. Bentet almost looked like he was going to run around, but now some backup has been called for. Stewie and Fallen, between them they have 2 smokes and a Molotov, so they can buy a lot of time. They're actually forced to use quite a bit of it, so that's a little bit of a shame.
That's great. That's a nice pop flash and a peek for Bentet. I mean, the damage is negligible. Damage doesn't matter on Fallen.
There we go.
But the fact that they forced him back is great. And forced them into using a Molotov and a smoke at that B bomb site. 40 seconds left on the clock. The bomb rotating towards Banana. There's DD. Come out and clear top mid. Very passive defense at the A bomb site.
Yeah, and that's almost a bit of a shame for TyLoo. If they could have got a kill, that would have been great, but there's only 25 seconds, and look at this madness. He's actually got the AWP, but he was just hiding inside of the smoke. Am I reading this right? 18 seconds now, and they want to make their breakthrough. On the other side of the bomb site is Stewie, ready and waiting with the M4. Fallen's been pushed out, but he comes back in for a big double kill with the C-set, 75, and now they're picking up the bomb. 8 seconds, 7 seconds now. They're running out of time quickly. Finally going to get it down once again. TyLoo having to fight for the afterplant here. Somebody in Excurate. That's a great kill for somebody, and he's someone we've really been missing him in the game. Need to see more out of him. A double kill in this round, and he's got 4 overall, so they need more. Flashbang through, and he can't see a single thing. And now it's all on Excurate. He's going to pick up 1 kill, and Cold Zero making his way in. He's got the AWP on the other side, so this will be just a reaction test for both players. Hiding and trying to find time. He's going to go for the fight, and he wins it. That's such a big round for TyLoo. And what, they had 5 or 4 seconds left in the plant?
Yeah.
If they'd got killed through the smoke, then that could have been another failed round. So finally they pick up a second round. It might be a little bit too late, but we'll find out.
You know, they still have a chance, actually, TyLoo. There's another very strong buy. Obviously, it's going to be a double up setup, but Fallen is fully bought out. And if TyLoo can win this round, MiBR will have another buy behind it. But if you can break them that late in the half, so TyLoo's going to have to string these together to be able to break the economy, get up towards. I mean, if you do go on this little streak and take all the money out of MiBR, you can end this half TyLoo at 9-6.
How does Fallen have 20 kills in 11 rounds?
It's not bad.
So early on.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal in this game, and really tough for TyLoo to handle him. But I think that round is the key, because Fallen with that AWP at the B bomb site playing in CT spawn. You know, an M4 can spam through. It can be much more functional. We even saw, I mean, Fallen did it anyways with the CZ, but it is much harder to kind of support that bomb site with an AWP behind that smoke.
Yeah, they just need the map control to be able to even throw those kind of grenades. It's a good angle, but no peek coming in from the other side, so a bit of a shame for Excurate, who was otherwise set up for maybe a good kill.
Really cool little setup with that smoke as well to put out the Molotov and create a little gap in the bottom.
Yeah, like that.
Could catch people off guard. I'm sure MiBR has seen it before. Another flashbang over the top. And Bentet has top banana control very early on. This is early in the round for them to do, and Stewie's going to go back for more. Flashbang comes over, but Bentet's able to get around, and this has been almost like a chess match between those two guys at different points.
Yeah, they're having their own little dance going on over that side. Definitely interesting.
Trying to find the pop flash timing to get a free kill. This looks like it's just a fake. 3 players in banana. DD's picking up the bomb now. It's not going to do much, that smoke. That's what I'm kind of curious about, what it's designed for, because it's not going to cause anyone to rotate. It's not going to deny information. It's not confusing anyone. Stewie is going to be boosted up over the smoke towards CT spawn, and the AWP is going to be playing dedicated into the bomb site. So here's the change in this B defense. So TyLoo might be thinking they're going to come back and have a very similar round to previous. That's not going to be the case. They're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, see if Stewie can fall back after he got the first kill. Usually that's what people do. They pick up one kill and they sort of fall back into the smoke and they'll be fine. Fallen under a bit of pressure, but oh, they actually check for it, but they don't keep shooting. That just looked like sort of a reaction check almost. And now another kill. Stewie even picking up a double, and Fallen holding strong in the back corner, and he's finally going to go down, but it's way too late. Stewie, that's a really, really important double that he pulls out there. You see how much time that bought for Fallen as well.
Yep, and the Molotov as well, because Fallen was over at the new boxes in the back left of that bomb site, and that Molotov started burning him, and the Molotov that I think it might have been Fur on the rotation put on the ground is what gave him the time before they could get the angle to punish. I can't believe TyLoo stopped shooting. They did everything. They cleared the boost, they were shooting at it, they were pre-firing it. We see that so frequently, and if they'd kept going, they would have gotten the kill. Stewie's allowed to survive, and they don't fully clear it. 10-2. And now MiBR, I think that was the last window of opportunity that TyLoo had to make this a close game.
Yeah, that kind of reset is kind of hard to come back from. If they knew that they had MiBR slightly low on economy, then at least they'll also know now that they can just build it right back up, and they're gonna struggle with that banana problem again and again now.
Yeah. And they haven't really, I mean, they've been struggling with that problem for this whole half. You know, we haven't seen any of those super fast, aggressive plays. Maybe they're waiting to have some kind of an economic advantage to do it, but since it's not coming, need to have a plan B, and at the moment they haven't shown us one. 4 players now. Even MiBR is just saying, we know you don't want to come B anymore. We have absolutely battered you at this bomb site. And away they go. coldzera, Stewie, Fur, and Tarek all lined up.
Yeah, these people coming out of apartments are going to be walking into a crossfire that they just can't really break without any kind of utility. Maybe if they had some cool flashbangs, it would make a difference, but they are all going to get shot down. Tarek gets a triple. Probably feels good for him to be part of the action. He's been
I was going to say,
left out a little bit.
him, Fur, and Stewie have had like a tough time finding fun. They've kind of climbed up a little bit. It is Fallen on 21 kills and 5 deaths. coldzera's on 13. That is an astounding scoreline, and no one on TyLoo is over 7. 11-2 now. One more timeout for TyLoo as they just try and buy themselves 4 rounds to play with in that second half. I don't think they're going to get it, Anders.
It doesn't really feel like it. I don't know what the solution would be, because we've sort of gone through. If they want the banana control early, they have to use so much utility. If they wait for later,
time, yeah.
then they risk the time, and you see how they sort of run out. Even trying to plant the bomb, they do it with like 10 seconds left, right?
Yep.
And I don't know what else is left. I mean, they could try and maybe set up an execute where they smoke Arch and Library and wrap around the bomb side. I mean, they sort of tried it before, but maybe with all the rifles, it would make more sense.
They don't really have all the rifles, though, do they? CZ on
They
Bentet, UMP and Excurate. To Banana we go. Molotovs on the ground. There's some utility use. I think they just have to kind of go, right? You almost feel like they need to try and beat, especially if Fallen's going to be at that corner, try and beat the counter Molotovs. Problem is you can't really walk up Banana and take that corner and just kind of smoke quickly towards CT spawn, because Fallen with the AWP, you have to be cautious. He could be able to pick you off, so you're risking a lot. But as they say, no guts, no glory. Stewie's going to get a pop flash timing, and off angle behind this Molotov. Here it comes. He's going to go through. Oh, he's blinded the wrong second, but he's got the angle. They almost line up him. Fallen is seemingly in trouble as he gets caught trying to retreat. They haven't been able to punish. He almost gets it through the smoke and somehow survives.
Yeah, he should have been dead. It felt like he was stuck as well. Now he tries to go back in, but this time they're going to shut him down. Bentet with a good kill there with the UMP, and now Boost is going to get caught as well. Bentet swapping out for the AWP. He's just doing all of it in this round. coldzera, can they chase him down? Do they want to? Try and see if they can maybe do some more damage here. Got to be very careful they don't give up too many rifles themselves, and Cold is going to survive it, so took the challenge and won. Still, third round for TyLoo. It's something.
Yep. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, that's the last time out is 4, and it really doesn't matter, TyLoo. I like this call to not really try and chase down this AWP and potentially lose 2 players, because you don't have any bank, and MiBR does, not need this gun. coldzera could drop it and spawn, and they're still going to have a very strong buy. So for TyLoo, it's all about preserving so you can have the AK-47s. Good trade from Didi as he comes around, and Stewie's got to be frustrated to get more than that. Yeah, Bentet had seen that play previously and fallen, not nearly having the success he would have liked.
You may have seen it before, but it still looks like pure madness, doesn't it, when you see someone jumping through that smoke with a no-scope orb.
Listen, TyLoo's been doing that since day one.
Yeah.
Execute it. That was his thing. Yeah.
So 11-3, moving into round number 15. We'll see if 3 rounds, or maybe even 4, could be enough for TyLoo here. As you said, they have been behind on Inferno before and still made some pretty cool comebacks, but this would have to be something else, and I expect MiBR to be pretty well versed on T-side Inferno as well.
Especially if they, I don't think they would have, but if they had wanted to anti-strat TyLoo, plenty of material. I don't think they would have gone too deep into that. I think it's more so focused on them getting back to their playing level. Tarek, don't know if he wanted to take that fight or just kind of run the gauntlet to get away, but either way, he loses his life, and Fur's got to do a fighting retreat and just gets around the corner. Somebody is going to press the issue.
Yeah, grenade in hand, that could have been scary. Great beginning. The spray through the wall on Tarek, forcing him out, and then getting him killed and Fur down to half health. So this is a good chance for the T-side to actually do something.
Yeah, to get up towards 4. This is one of the first times we've seen that level of aggression out of them. Great initiative taken by somebody. Following up on that half wall at Banana, though, allows still a 3-man defense here. coldzera with an AWP will be the first obstacle. Wrap side mid, no smoke, but he misses a shot, and I don't think he's got a chance of surviving here. Flashbang out. They're going to try and hit lane, though. They're actually ignoring him entirely, and there finally coldzera goes down, but Fur's still alive at the bomb site for a moment. Stewie and Pitt needs to hold on as long as possible.
Fallen missing a chance now. It's all on Stewie, you're absolutely right. They know that he's down here as well. He's already got 1 kill, looking for Bentet. The grenade follow-up, and if he goes down, Fallen's just in so much trouble. He's going to get Didi coming up from the mid. Now it's a 2-1-2, and the bomb has got a lot of time left on it still. You see Stewie ducking and diving not to get shot in the face, and finally, Bentet takes him down, and a great follow-up here. Bentet having a good end to the half at 12-12. And it will be 11-4 overall in favor of MiBR, so they're still going to be quite happy and quite content with this first half, but at least TyLoo got to have a bit of a say at the end of it. Yeah,
they got to have a little bit of action and get involved and get aggressive and you know, be assertive, and you see towards the end those last 2 rounds hard fought for. I don't think it's going to be enough, but at least they've given themselves a chance, because that was looking like a very desperate situation. Just painful to see what could have happened if maybe they had started that kind of a more aggressive style a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it was very hard for them to get out of that slow pace that they had set for themselves.
Yep.
They kept trying to fight for Banana, and they had some of those awful rounds where they just walked into the AWP shots, and every round seemed
to start. They love doing that.
Yeah,
it's a weird strategy.
You generally don't want to be 4-on-5 before you've even done anything. Well,
write that down, kids.
Exactly right. Just take a lesson here for TyLoo. They've done the hard research. It's not worth it. TyLoo going to be on the CT side now. MiBR on the T side. Let's see if they can come up with a pistol round that worked as well as they did on the CT side, because if they do, then that's pretty much the map won. 4-man stack at the A-bomb side for TyLoo, leaving Bentet on that side. He does have a smoke and a kit, so probably maybe goodbye time. It's not always that smoke actually stops anybody when they have Glocks, but maybe it will.
Especially because you get this feeling when you see a player in this position that it probably is just going to be the one player, and he gets blinded. Back into the bomb site we go. That is bold, though. Pulling the knife out, not even using your smoke, and just leisurely walking back, listening for information.
I was going to say, he kind of called their bluff, but...
Yeah, he really did. The best part is, that's just a bluff for the moment. They're going to blow up on this bomb site, and Bentet has no chance. He'll have to get so lucky through the smoke.
Yeah, he needs at least 1 headshot, and preferably some more damage. Let it be up. He's waiting for it, just counting the seconds. Tapping away, but not really making it work. Now, backup is here, sure, but this is a 5-on-5 retake. The bomb is weirdly dropped on the ground. I obviously wanted to throw it over, but it's going to buy some more time, actually. Quite a few valuable seconds here for TyLoo to get closer. The bomb is going to be down. So, a full 5-on-5 retake. We don't see those every day. TyLoo, what have you got for us here? That 1 smoke on Bentet. Maybe he could cut off a couple of players, but instant headshot from Fur, taking down somebody. And now they need to make this work right now. X-Crit taking down Fur. It's a good couple of kills in return. Stewie going to get shot down. X-Crit, more headshots, and A little bit of a fight here. Captain Mo winning it, and it's all on Fallen. He's smoked off there on the bomb, defusing with the kit and everything. He can't find the lineup. Captain Mo will win it, and a great retake from TyLoo. That's so hard to do.
Yeah, what a retake. That is a great swing from construction and in ruins. That is beautiful that TyLoo's able to make that work. Those retakes are so hard. Look at these shots. Fur obviously swinging out a little bit wide, and once they have this position, your players in these two corners are just really exposed, and it's really awkward. I was kind of giggling to myself a little bit when that smoke goes down, because you're obviously trying to isolate anyone in Banana, but there's only one player there. So, I mean, still having 4 players in the site is very hard to break into. TyLoo make it work, and now we could have ourselves a game here, Anders.
Real game. Personally, Moses, I was hoping for 9 overtimes, but that is just me, maybe.
Can't always get what you want, as the great philosopher once said.
Yes, that is very true. Go and Google that, boys and girls, if you don't know what we're talking about. We may be too old, Moses.
Definitely too old. Great philosopher Mick.
Round number 17 here, and we shouldn't be celebrating too early on TyLoo's behalf. There is still that UMP picked up on Fur and a scout on Fallen, and Deagle's in play, even a CSET 75, so you never know what could happen.
Yeah, it's the utility that kind of worries me. MiBR bringing this much into the game just kind of says, you know, because they could have waited for that 3rd round buy for the AK-47, but this just says they have a plan. Like they've run some things, they have some ideas of how to find picks. Look at these flashbangs, it's great. Captain Mo isolated at least for the moment. coldzera can't win that battle, no trade. Even DD's been tagged, and they almost blow up at a boiler just in time, but now they line up. They're both going to fall.
That was so awkward to watch. Now the bomb is back here, so Stewie going down might actually just save them. But that was incredibly awkward, Moses. They were all bumping into each other. It's one thing, Moses, if you had a drink or something, maybe it could be you could be excused, right? But in the middle of a Counter-Strike match, definitely don't want to be stumbling around like that.
I don't know. I think it'd be a fun twist.
Yeah?
Yeah. Be like one of those challenges that I just mentioned in the last map.
Maybe you would, it could give you, people do sometimes call it liquid courage, don't they? So maybe there's, maybe it could take some of the fear away. But that actually could have cost them really badly.
Very much could have. If coldzera gets that pick with the Deagle, turning around lane, they get those 2 kills pretty clean because they're lined up. A lot of things could have gone wrong, and obviously, I think you're right. I mean, that push from Banana and then chasing Stewie down, seeing the bomb and everything, that was what really sealed it. So a nice hold from TyLoo in that 2nd round. It got a little bit dicey. Now they don't have to worry about a buy in this round, so you can see not liquid courage, but just the courage of going up against unarmored opponents with Glocks.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe a bit of a risk running down there. Maybe it isn't strictly speaking necessary in a round like this, but might also just be a way to pump themselves up, right? Just to get that feeling back.
I was going to say, I don't mind it. Like, get some, go have some fun. Get the blood pumping. Do an aggressive play that makes your heart rate, you know, skyrocket. Get in the habit of being aggressive. You just spent, you know, basically 12 rounds in the first half, not able to find any aggressiveness in your body. Now you've got some.
Do it for the fans as well, right?
Yeah, the fans.
People
do it for the 16% that voted for you to win this game.
We're still here, Moses.
17% on pick'ems. So
17%. Well, there you go. Clearly we're right. It's a 4-round gap, though. I mean, this could be...
It's not far off.
No, it could be trouble. Although, we haven't actually seen what MiBR could do yet here on the T side, so maybe we don't want to get ahead ourselves too much. Maybe Coach Yanko or somebody else has got something up their sleeves here that they could pull out if they really need to. So many options on Inferno. A lot of them have been played in the past and have been forgotten by many of the pro teams for whatever odd reason, but they could be pulled back out again. It's, you know, what, like more than a decade's worth of tax you could look at if you wanted to.
Don't think they all apply. That is a very fortunate blind kill. Oh, he's insane. He's lost his mind, and he realizes he's in a bad position. Gets around the corner just in time. That's Stewie down, trying to find a pop flash right to that smoke. It actually worked.
Are they still shooting through it?
Yeah, they're going for more. Smoke's cleared as well, so they back away.
You have already gained the upside. If you keep shooting, there's a chance that one AK on the other side will just finish one of your players, and then you've given it away again. Fallen walking in with a Galil. I think he may have realized someone was jumping up there. They're going to get a bit of an under control. They've left Fur on the other side alone, which is not so uncommon for MiBR to try and do. And that's a lot of damage on Bented.
Yeah, it really is. Fallen's really creeping up to this corner, waiting to hear any kind of counter nades that come out. They've just thrown one smoke towards spawn. Fur still lurking. They might, no, this is going to be a B hit. Fur's coming in now, but 3 players essentially in a 3-on-3 to take this bomb site. I do not think this is going to go well. Throwing bodies through the smoke. It's just down to Tarek and Fur. Fur's not even with them and has no idea that Bentet is still here. It's a free kill. It's the bomb down. Fur, all he can hope for is taking money away. There's the first as somebody gets caught in a jump. 10 seconds. He does probably need to die in this round, and he's just going to fall away, and they might chase him.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's risky because he doesn't know if anyone is actually down here waiting, but
yeah.
I guess he's just feeling that confident in his own read of the round, and he's not wrong. So 11-8 now. TyLoo starting to make it look a little bit better. It always helps when you get that early kill. This battle at the bottom of Banana really helps him out. And the boost actually happens, what, like 3 seconds before someone comes through, so that's good timing as well. I'm starting to feel it, Moses. I'm starting to get that feeling. I can...
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I'm with you on that. 8-11. This got close real quick. TyLoo within striking distance. The AWP is out on Execute as well, and probably have an easier time on the CT side. Keep in mind as well, I mean, we haven't really mentioned it. We do mention it all the time on Inferno. The T side difficult to make the AWPing work. Fallen had a phenomenal first half. A lot of it with that AWP. So, I mean, just kind of like a natural way to kind of neuter this, you know, Fallen in a way, I guess, is put him on T side Inferno.
Oh, they're going to chase down Execute. It's so good, but the counter grenade is actually perfect for somebody to refrag both the players. Otherwise, that would have been a very nice hit there to try and chase the AWPer down on the CT side. It's a bit of a shame that would have opened up a lot of the bomb site, but now it all comes to a bit of a halt, and they should be able to recover this round, TyLoo, from here on out.
Actually, I mean, MiBR had a pretty decent spot for Tarek and coldzera. Captain Mo had rotated over towards Mini Pit as well. They could have busted out. They would have had DD isolated. Now it gets more difficult, but he handles it so well. He's been such a good player for TyLoo.
He was just tracking him in the middle of the air, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really was. Good spray control as well. They salvaged the AWP. He makes the run all the way from Pit. 9-11.
Yes, indeed. AKs on a couple of players there, and the rest is going to be one Galil. Fallen also picking up the AK-47. I mean, you can make the trade for the Galil if you want some more utility. They do have 3 Molotovs, so I guess it's fine. But this is where you would almost like a tactical timeout for MiBR and sort of, you know, put together what you've seen so far. What is their defense like? It's actually 3 over at Banana, with 1 holding quite far back. They're going to be rushing right through the Molotov, forcing Bentet into the corner, and he stayed alive there with no one spotting him for a while. Now somebody charging back out, and Fur will take him down. They're not, well, I was going to say they're not going to be ready for Execute being here, but they actually slow it down. That's really brilliant play from MiBR, not giving anything away, and they're getting rewarded as well. Smart round.
Yeah, this is the old school MiBR, is this kind of a pause across the map. Even though you have a 5-on-2, you have advantages probably everywhere you go. You just make sure. That flashbang going to blind Execute, and Stewie's going to be able to punish him. Nice pounce. That's the kind of play to take Banana that we didn't ever see TyLoo even attempt in that first half. That is... And that's kind of what you get when you have someone like Stewie. He's not afraid to make a play like that, potentially running through nades and potentially running through flashbangs and Molotovs and finding you that first kill, or at least finding the space for the rest of your team to follow up. Let's give an MiBR their first T-round. Nothing fancy. It's brute force.
There would have been, I mean, there would have been a lot of other teams in the world that would have felt very incentivized to continue to run after this second kill. I mean, into the bomb site, right? When Execute was still at the corner, there would have been a feeling that, okay, that's it, we've got it, let's go. And if you run into an AWP player, especially someone as good as Execute, you could lose like 2 or 3 players just by not even realizing that he's going to be there. So, nice slowdown of the whole team, 12-9, and now they have a really good chance of closing the game anyway. TyLoo have spent all of their bank in this round, so it's interesting.
Yeah, a breaking moment here for MiBR, for TyLoo, I should say, would be a disaster. I think somebody's got a gun on the ground, I would imagine. Yeah, UMP, not the best in the world, but yeah, they've got a solid buy, all things considered. They would love to return here, although that was a clean win for MiBR, so look at their money. It's pretty massive. So even a win here for TyLoo, and they're going to be facing another one, and we're having a little bit of a tech pause, I notice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is it a good one, Moses? Has anything caught fire or anything like that?
I don't think so.
No, all right.
So, I don't know. Is that good or bad in your book?
I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I wish they'd be more exciting. You know, what if like a fire extinguisher exploded and suddenly there was a white foamy powder everywhere? I don't know. Something that would get everyone woken up.
Okay, that's a bit of a weird thing, I think.
Yeah. I'm just saying that
there's not too many explosions that sound fun to me. I don't put explosions in my fun book.
What did you do as a kid? I used to blow things up all the time. I made my own fireworks. I still do that sometimes.
Makes sense. That's weird.
You take it apart, and I'm not saying people should do this. Definitely don't do this.
Yeah,
but
definitely don't. I had those army kids. Those army things, the plastic army soldiers.
Yes.
The green and tan ones.
Did you never? I taped them to rockets and sent them off into the sky.
You're an absolute freak.
They have little parachutes, so they would come back down again, and you try and find them.
Not all of them.
Well, I mean, some of them would explode in the air, but
not all of them made it.
No, definitely not. I did it with Power Rangers as well.
There's got to be something about like serial killers doing that or something like that. Did you draw your inspiration from Toy Story? You watched that and you were like, everyone loves Woody, everyone loves Buzz, and you're like, there's the badass kid who just wrecks toys all day long.
No, this is way before Toy Story. we just didn't have much parental supervision, Moses. We just did our own thing. We lived through it more or less. 12-9, 22nd round. Grenade just to challenge a little bit. This one, nobody wants to take the run through the ocean of fire that is Banana in the first 10 seconds of every round. They're just going to leave it alone.
They've got somebody in good position, though, close up with the UMP. Important to note as well, TyLoo is going to be hurt on utility throughout this round. We'll see how much they keep hold of, because I imagine Ben10's going to want to put that down pretty soon to help delay any kind of a B hit. It's going to be really tough for him to help somebody without that smoke, because you're going to have Fallen posted up with that op looking for a repeak.
Does he want to do it? Firing the gun down here could be very dangerous. A bit of an exchange, AWP versus M4, and somebody, they're just hoping they can lure anyone to run through the smoke, but it isn't happening right now, and MiBR just going to ignore it for a minute. Maybe just want to clear top mid. They might still come back here later on, but it's always a good idea to have top mid a little bit in your control before you do anything.
Yeah, they are coming back now. They're going to have to hurry. 35 seconds on the clock. And Ben10's actually abandoning him. Somebody's going to be the only one here, and Ben10 actually just coming back now. That's a great call. Flashbang is out. They're all blind. He's got them all lined up. Could have gotten 3, but Ben10 can't get anything done. The HP is so low. The good thing is they fought such a forward battle that Xcurit's going to have the rotation in time, drop the bomb on the ground, and it should be TyLoo.
Man, that is a lot of damage for one UMP to be doing. Xcurit ready and waiting, taking down coldzera, and Tarek is going to be next. Can't win the round. DD will take him down. Xcurit living through with the AWP, and they can't get the AK. He was stuck down, and then that's where the bomb got disappeared once. I mean, it was a grill that was there, but
coffins now instead of a grill.
Still, we'll make it work anyway. 10-12, and the 23rd round. That's a money flashbang, Moses.
And it almost didn't happen. Think about that. Ben10 had to come back for it. He was rotating away, so whoever made that call, I don't know if they heard a footstep or got some kind of an information, but...
Can you just throw me a flashbang to flash 5 people? That would be great.
Yeah, 5-man flash, please. I mean, I think part of it is they just wanted to know what was happening. Timer was running out. Here's that aggressive take towards Banana again. Molotovs are out. Xcurit brought his crosshair away, but so much damage onto Tarek and coldzera. It's still worth it because you have that control of Banana really early on.
It almost looked like they could have caught Xcurit on the corner once again. He did have backup, obviously, in Ben10, but I think Ben10 had a grenade primed. So, I don't know. Very hard to make that choice to chase when you're making your way around the corner.
It's an intimidating decision to make. And obviously, it kind of commits you into a B rush at that point. 3 smokes, 1 flashbang on MiBR. Oh, another nade. Utility for TyLoo is really turning on right now.
Yeah, it's starting to be a problem, right? Because otherwise you'd be good. You're fighting AKs versus 1 UMP, 1 M4, 1 FAMAS. So you feel like you have a chance against those, but then when everybody's at 70 health or below, it doesn't feel like that anymore. Those weapons are going to be just as good as the AK-47, maybe even better at this point. So a little bit of trouble there. DD flashed in a little bit late to take top mid. Oh, he gets caught and almost is shot straight into space. I don't know what happened there. Now 33 seconds and they're starting the wrap. There is a bit of backup coming in from Bentit, and he does have a very important Molotov, but the bomb is making its way back, and Execute, is he going to stand his ground on that side? If Bentit stays alive, somebody's gone down, so now they're going to want to stay around Captain Mo with 1 kill, but he has fallen. That's such a huge kill, and just the fact that he heard that means he's going to call it in. They know it's some sort of B-crunch happening. Execute, the only one who can keep this alive. 10 seconds, he has to get the kill. That's the bomb down. Oh, and one more flick, taking down Stewie, and he saves the round. The sole defender on the bomb side. Him, and then the fact that Bentit heard that run through CT spawn. Information is just key in the game of Counter-Strike, and that round, I think, that displays it perfectly. You can't get a better result.
MiBR allowing that clock to run down real low, and that's kind of what happens. You have to make the footsteps, you have to go for speed, and even if not, that Molotov, coldzera is taking way too much time at CT spawn. There's not time on the clock. You have to get involved and help your teammates get there, and even if you delay Bentit, that just means that Molotov can't go on the ground, and with 10 seconds and low HP, running through that Molotov might have just been death. So, I mean, you give him the chance to at least get that kill on Execute and be able to plan.
That was TyLoo again. I mean, sort of running out of money, right? They're definitely not out of the woods yet, but MiBR must start to feel the pressure just a tiny bit, considering how good their first half was. It was 11-4 in their favor, right?
Hell yeah. This is now very scary for MiBR, and I think now we're going to start seeing those timeouts come for that next gun round. Maybe just to settle people down. The only round that's worked for MiBR on this T side is that really hyper-aggressive, fast-paced banana take.
Yeah, so I know how to solve this, Moses.
All right, here we go.
MiBR.
Yep.
Get that AWP on a Fallen and just launch him into a fight. Just walk him up middle and just take a fight against the first person. Make it so quick that they're just going to be scratching their heads thinking, why would he ever do this?
Yeah.
That's the kind of play I like to see out of Fallen. And he seems to be in the mood for it, you know.
Yeah, he does seem to be a little bit frisky today.
Well, shouldn't be much danger in this round for TyLoo, but I'm not...
We've seen a lot of B bomb site emphasis in this game between both of these teams. I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of gun rounds attack towards the A bomb site. Even that last round that MiBR, initially attacks it, it's just to set up the crunch. There's the one AK-47. Ringing out of the map, a 5-on-4. A couple players very low HP, but coldzera, he's got to deliver a lot, and he goes down to Captain Mo and Pit, and now you're going to bring DD over as well, and yeah, there goes any opportunity that MiBR might have had. All tied up, 12-12.
I'm not going to lie, I was actually scared that round, just because normally TyLoo, whenever they lose a player like that, you see them sort of reacting somewhere else, and they were a little bit passive after losing that first player, so could have been a chance, but didn't really work out.
Here's a worrying sign as we have the replays going on. This is the last time out for MiBR, and we saw them take 2 in the first half when they were leading huge, and obviously the idea for that is to make sure you're preserving that lead, and you're still playing well, and you're still focused even when you're up 10-2 or whatever it might be.
I do wish we could get more camera action on Yanko, because he's got the best hand movement. I feel like we could...
He's a hand talker?
He is a hand talker, and I just, I want like a whole library of Yanko memes, especially for when he comes back to analysis, Moses.
I feel like you can still tell he has a Serbian accent just by watching his hands. Like, he speaks great English, obviously. It's fluent, but, the hands really bring out the Serbian accent, I think, in my brain.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's hugely enjoyable. 12-12, ladies and gentlemen. The 25th round now, and once again, Inferno has ended up on a close game. Captain Mo taking a bit of damage, Fallen taking significantly more. And Stewie, that smoke was almost inviting him, wasn't it? He was sort of thinking about it. It's like, can I do it again? Oh, there's a gap.
Oh, that's dangerous. What did Fallen in the first half with? 22 or 23, I think it was?
Yeah.
He's at 24 now. So 1 to 2 kills in the second half. No one really doing all that great for the Brazilian side. And Stewie with the kill, that's phenomenal. That's somebody pushing up. He's actually being aggressive. A leg shot on a Tarek, though. Look at the HP of some of these MiBR players. It's still not a great situation to be in 5-on-4. You can very easily double up some of these guys. And Bentit.
Oh my god, what is happening? Why are they doing this to us?
Just rolling the dice.
The idea of somebody pushing through is already absolutely mental, but then Bentit to follow it up, he's going to try and make his way back around the corner. He wants to delay this smoke as far as he possibly can. And just walking and listening for anyone running up behind him, but he's not going to hear anything, so 40 seconds. That smoke could really make a big difference, and let's see if MiBR are going to give him the clue to throw it. If Fer just walks around the corner, that's the round 1. There's a bit of a smoke in front, so He's going to put it up, and then the follow-up flashbang. Do they want to try and push their way through? They're thinking about it, crawling on in. He needs backup, and he needs it really quickly. 23 seconds now. The flash is out. He's going to get the one. Oh, the follow-up spray. Bentet dropping the bomb. And finally, Cold Zero can take him down. Now 15 seconds and a 3-on-3, and a huge chance here for MiBR to pick up a round. The X-Crit taking down Stewie and Cold Zero now in a 1 versus 2. But you know what? This is not a bad player to have left for a clutch like this. He's got no grenades, which is a bit annoying, but they're quite far away, and they need to regroup and find a way to take this one home. You do have a kit on either player. DD setting up with a single flashbang, doesn't really touch him at all. And he's just ready and waiting. Hasn't even checked behind him for a good 10 seconds. He is just committed to this one position. X-Crit walks right into the headshot, and DD will follow into the grave. Cold Zero, the great triple and a great clutch to put him on 13 rounds. That is beautiful.
Ice cold from Cold Zero, and you had it. I mean, he didn't even look behind him. He knew exactly what was coming. He was confused a little bit. DD had taken out Tarek, watching the flank, being a lurker, trying to eliminate that play, so he thought one was coming from Banana. He remained cognizant of the fact, but you are kind of taking a little bit of a calculated risk, not even worrying about Graveyard. And you do have to do that sometimes in 1-on-2s, but obviously the shots he lands are just perfect.
That one round could be everything, right?
Very well could be. There's going to be one more buy at a TyLoo here as they take a timeout. They've got one left.
Yeah, and if they force into this round, I guess DD is going to be lacking something. So that would, if they win this round, MiBR, that's 14-12. Then TyLoo, they probably just keep forcing anyway.
Yeah.
But the rest of the game could be all force up for them if they can't restabilize.
For how hard they fought to get back into this, a reset here would almost be depressing. I want to see them have the money to be able to fight and grind every single round down the stretch. Low on utility. X-Curate with the off has no armor. They've got 2 kits.
I was gonna say this position that he's in right now, when you have no armor, considering how popular the double grenade has become,
yeah,
that's risky.
And even look at MiBR's money as well. It's not like they're rich or anything like that. This is a really important round. This is probably the most important round on the context, or for the context of the rest of this match. It's really going to limit what one team can fight with.
Are they just all going to run A?
Oh God,
that does not seem like a reasonable choice.
That did seem. Oof.
Maybe they heard. Maybe there was a call on A that just made them all want to try and go for it. They're gonna stick around with the boost and everything else, and they are almost out of grenades. Somebody has a smoke, and that's pretty much it. Otherwise, some flashbangs. But the MiBR, they're just slowing it down.
Well, they have to. I mean, look at how passive they're being, because they too are limited in the utility. So it's not like they can use 2 players worth of utility to gain control of one part of the map and then be able to fall back. Once they use their utility, they kind of have to utilize what it offers them.
Oh my God.
Of course.
Who does this? Just recommitting to the corner. Flashbang is in, but Cold Zero will make his way around untouched for the minute. 30 seconds left right now, and they are going to go for this A crunch. See if they can make it work. Down in the pit is Captain Mo. There are going to be a couple of grenades at least landing his way, but not that many left. No flashbangs right now in anybody's hands. This is a really strange maybe end to it. Captain Mo missing the chance. DD will get 1 kill. Still got some bullets in the UMP, and Fur is very low on health. They're running out of time quickly. That's the bomb with 10 seconds. Somebody needs to pick it up and put it down right now. Fallen running onto the site, but they line up. Bentet getting it, and there's no chance. They can't win it. Cold Zero, he can get the bomb, but they're simply going to run out of time. What a mad end here to round number 26. 13-13, and that is all that it took. A little bit of a delay, that UMP on DD just making all the difference, and then the follow-up spray from Library. This is madness.
Once again, the clock becoming an issue for MiBR. It's kind of crazy to think. I mean, Cold Zero was used on Rap side. He was just, his only attempt was to hold and pin down the Opper peeking from Library. He gets that kill when X-Curate goes to help the A bomb site, but Bentet is out of his vision, and he completely rotated back around to lane. So Bentet had a free chance. Once that bomb drops out in the open, Fallen just has to go for it. And as you said, MiBR really allowing the time to become an enemy with some of these late executes.
I'm still worried about that 1 AK-47 on Cold Zero. I know they have the advantage on TyLoo's side, but
if you're going to get reset the way MiBR just was, that's the best way to do it, because you've got 4 players down. You didn't get the plant, which would have helped out, but I mean, if you're going to win around with these CZs and 1 AK-47, 3 UMPs, 3 SMGs is what's going to do it.
Let's see what he could do. coldzera once receiving an award for the best player in the world. Captain Mo gonna get run down right there, and TyLoo taking him down. A little bit of a return. DD also picking up a kill. Oh, that's a great flick. Quick triple for him. And coldzera alone in the bomb site with no bomb planted. And they just need to wait for everybody else to get here. DD, just hide and wait for it. There's no reason to overpeak this one. That was very quick. They had the bomb site completely swarmed, and Cold, he just wants that quick headshot. Has he been spotted yet? It doesn't look like DD actually knows. He must have seen him by now. Cold is going to be going down now. 40 seconds, 1 versus 2. Surely there's no way to get it out of this. He's got 11 health left. This would be a miracle clutch if he could pull it out. Sneaking in, an instant headshot there for Bentet. That was too much to ask, even for coldzera. I can't believe that DD managed to find all those kills. If we get the replay, this is quite something.
That was a disgusting sequence from DD. This is so good. And he's the only defender left. This is all him. There's no one even taking that information. Some routes are a bit weird, obviously running into smoke and kind of losing track of him right around the edges, but that is so brilliant, going up and down repeatedly over those stairs. And they needed him. You can see MiBR, they do everything perfect. That aggression, that execute really caught TyLoo off guard. You have that one missed shot from the player on balcony that gets punished from Stewie coming out. It was perfect. Now MiBR, that force buy doesn't pan out for him, so unarmored, 1 upgraded pistol, and next round they're just going to have to save to get whatever they possibly can. Somehow coldzera gets that kill.
Yeah. Very awkward spray from DD. He had plenty of time.
I think he used all of his powers in the previous round. I think he's going to be okay with how that turned out.
Captain Moles are missing a couple of shots here. So, I mean, they've done all of the hard work in the last 2 rounds here, TyLoo. If they lose to this round, that would just be, it'd be beyond silly, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it really would be. That's like keyboard smashing time.
Yeah.
Somebody waiting at the base of Banana. A lot of faith in him, obviously, as the only defender at this B bomb site. It means Bentet has to kind of cheat a little bit farther away from the A site. He has got to play in that CT spawn area. No indication yet of where where MiBR is going to go. Is this a fake?
It's very hard to say, isn't it? Oh my god, Stewie taking down
no
somebody.
Head armor.
Yeah, he instantly went down to that Glock. Now a little bit of pressure applied. Luckily only Bentet's rotating, so they don't want to overcommit, even though they must be feeling the pressure in this round. Captain Mo going to be walking back in, but there is a guy waiting for... He's being spotted as well. That's the bomb down, but the good reply as well, leaving just Excurate in the pit. And they're going to pick up the bomb. Where do they want to go? 25 seconds. They need to make up their minds. This pit player could still be very, very lethal. They don't have any armor, so any bullets landing, you see how much damage it's doing. And Excurate following up. Great play for the Indonesian here again. 22 kills on him, but that is way too close. TyLoo almost stumbling near the finish line here. They've nearly done it, Moses. They just need to avoid that overtime now.
So quick and so measured from Excurate. This is great shooting from him. Back-to-back rounds, him and DD, sole defenders at this A bomb site, and they handle it so very well. Now the AKs come out. Last chance for MiBR. They have been absolutely stumped in this half. Only 2 rounds. 11-4 in their favor in the first half. And now they're just getting wiped out of the map.
They have so little utility, so taking this fight on Banana could deplete a fair amount of it, although so far it's only the smoke that's been put out there for coldzera, so that's good news. Don't want to throw the rest away. 3 smokes and a Molotov, so even faking any bomb sites right now would be a problem. They need openings right now. It's been looking so great here for the MiBR roster, but right now they're fighting to get back into overtime, which is what we all want.
Small amounts of utility used to get fur out of Boiler. Take control of top mid. Minute and 5 seconds left on the clock. 1 smoke, 1 flashbang. So all this utility for MiBR. Every time they throw something, it's got to be for a specific purpose. This is going to be weird. I don't know how they're going to get into this bomb site. That's all their utility that they just used right now. And here they are marching up ramp side right behind the smoke. I guess they want to explode through it and catch those players off. DD's rotated around in case it's a split towards the B bomb site. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
No, it almost looked like they were thinking about it, but they've managed to make their way back. Pushing up his Excurate. That's DD down, and Excurate, he might put himself in a very bad position here. If his scope is a little bit off, he's going to get caught almost immediately. Does get a good kill on Tarek, and now Not getting called from Stewie. They're a little bit slow on this one. 24 seconds, and they need to be much quicker than this Execute out in the open. He's going to get shut down no matter what here. Oh, he gets the kill on Fallen, then somehow he's back in the bomb site. How is he still alive? And now down in the pit, Captain Mo, the sole defender of the bomb site. 10 seconds left, and the spray is through. That's the bomb on the ground. It's a disaster. And that might be enough here. No time left for Fur. He's going to get dropped 16-13 in favor of TyLoo. I have no idea how Execute stayed alive for all of that. 24 kills on him. And they take down MiBR in their first game here at the Legend stage on Inferno. A historic victory for this team, without a question.
This is going to be. This feels like it's a historic major for them overall, getting into this top 16. And you're exactly right. Over. Oh, aren't you happy? Oh, he's all no headaches gone all of a sudden. Here we go.
Yeah. Headaches gone, Moses. See, I'll explain how I predicted it later, Moses. I'll give you all the details on the analysis that I did.
Can't wait for that. I think a lot of that, I mean, obviously great play. Execute, we had DD making those incredible plays. Execute with the M4, that Execute with the operate at the end at that A bomb site, so integral. But MiBR really leaving things towards the end of that timer. So many times that came back to bite them. So many times it forced their hand in awkward situations.
Yeah, I really feel like there were a couple of things that they could have tried towards the end.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were some crazy rounds that maybe it would have been hard for them to predict. I mean, some of the pushes that were happening at Banana, and just some of the holes that were happening there for TyLoo were pretty aggressive, and the timings on them were just hard to read. So I don't know. That's a strange game, but another good Inferno game though.
Yeah, another really, really cool game from TyLoo. We're still gonna love seeing them play. We've got Frey already down on the stage with Bentet.
Yes, that is right, Jason. I am here with the wonderful Bentet. So, what a comeback that was. How did you manage that?
We just take as many rounds as we can as a T. We know our city good, better than our T. So we managed to take 4 at T when we get destroyed at the beginning, and after that we start a good city, and we know we can do it.
So you mentioned that T side isn't your strong point. What do you think went wrong here for you?
Actually, I have a game plan in my mind that I watched their demos, but it's not completely work. And the Chinese guy, I think, confused from what I'm trying to say. So we just do whatever we can as a team, and finally we get 4 rounds. It's good enough.
So going on to that CT side, you guys only had 4 rounds. How did you refocus and find that confidence again?
I mean, it's all depends on the pistol round as a city, and we take a win, and we didn't lose anti-eco. So we automatically get 3 rounds, I guess. And after that, our momentum come back, and we get more confident. And yeah, as I said before, our city is confident as a city.
So you guys had a little bit of a break since the Challenger stage. How did the team use that time to prepare?
We just break 1 day, and after that we start to grind. We start practice, watching demos, and this is the major, right? You cannot take a long break, so yeah.
So we saw yourself and Execrate, you had an incredible performance. What do you think enabled this, and how do you work within the team?
We just do our best in practice. We practice our communication, first of all, to make all of the Chinese guys understand what I'm trying to say. That's the main point. So we practice every day. Also, the Chinese guy practice English every day. So we hope for 100% in the same page in the tournament. But I'm not sure if it's 100% yet, but we just do our best.
Yeah, I just want to mention about that communication point. You guys seem a lot calmer, like a lot more simple in your communications. Is that something you've been working on as a team?
I'm just trying to explain as many as I can. Sometimes I shout, sometimes I'm angry to them, but for the good thing. But today we do it calmly. We not do it like the minor or like Challenger stage, because we have less pressure. But we just play as a team and still confident. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. And you're going into tomorrow with a 1-0 now. How does this make you feel, and are you focused on anything in particular?
Yeah, I mean, this win again against MiBR makes us more confident, I guess, because MiBR is one of the best teams in the world, and we managed to take a win. So from this win, we're gonna learn from our mistake and hope for a better game next game.
Cool, thank you so much, Bentet, and congratulations again on the win. We're gonna head back over to the analyst desk.
Wow, what on earth? TyLoo have landed on Earth and landed in the face of MiBR. It looked like it was all said and done, and the pistol in the second half starts to weave a rather different story as TyLoo, another challenger team, have truly challenged the greats.
We were sitting there watching this game going, MiBR are back, look how clean they look, so many moves,
Oh,
they're
look at
ready and
Fallen,
raring for
sexy
everything. Fallen, the return of the king on the AWP with all the re-peaks, it's going so well. Every single thing they did, Sean and I are sitting there nodding, looking at each other going, they're back.
A 5-man CT retake on the pistol to start things off.
Ludicrous.
I was ready to anoint MiBR like major champions after that, like halfway through the first half. Whenever 10-1, 9-1.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, TyLoo played out of their mind on CT side. I couldn't even believe it.
The multi-kills late in the rounds from these guys is what really came up clutch. There's some statistics here. Obviously, you know, if you look at the clutches
Sure.
or 1vx situations, MiBR had 2 and 2 went to TyLoo. So you're even in that regard, right? You know, you've both pulled off some of those rounds. But it's the opening kills. The first kills went in the favor of MiBR 18-11, which means they're starting with such a round advantage time and time again. 2 things to note. TyLoo did a fantastic job at trading when they needed to, and the individuals anchoring those bomb sites stepped up time and time again with the multi-kills.
And the multi-kills, I have the stats in front of me. The amount of times that these individuals picked up more than 2 kills or 2 or more kills a round. Excurate with 8 multi-kill rounds. Bentet with 6. DD, somebody, all on 5. And Captain Mo with 4 himself. Of course, playing that pit position, just slaying as they come in.
A lot of players cooled off, but Fallen has to be the one to note. In the CT side, he was a beast. He was everywhere with the AWP, and he had over 20 kills within that first half. And then to only have, I don't know the exact figures, but probably less than 7 in the second half means that he really didn't have a lot of impact. And let's just note the amount of gun rounds that MiBR had. How many rounds can you remember in that game where they were fully stocked with nades, when they had their AWP up? Maybe 2?
Yeah. It was very poor showing for them on their gun rounds for sure. And the one round that stands out to me in my head is the round they go B and there's the guy boosted spawn. Somebody gets boosted spawn. The second he gets a kill boosted spawn, DD swings through the smoke. Which is, you just can't expect that. Like that is so that's so random.
It
And
makes sense, though.
there's a third guy in the site hiding. So.
Right, and we're laughing. It's hard. I mean, imagine just going up against it and everything that you think you know, you don't.
Yeah.
Like, for example, somebody... It doesn't matter what he's doing. In fact, he's featured in our head-to-head. We'll bring it up. Doesn't matter what he's doing. There's a smoke there. He's getting 2 with the UMP. He's flashed. He'll get 1. He'll scavenge an AK and finish off the round. I mean, it was spectacular to see from somebody. We talk of Fur. Of course, we said he is going to be that tamed aggression in comparison to somebody's profound aggression.
Yeah, Inferno's a map where it's more difficult to get away with on that T side, especially because of all the choke points. But you have to look at somebody in all these situations towards Banana. Trades are going on, and this guy is either in the forefront of that action, making sure he's getting at least 1 kill and doing damage, getting information, or doing these really just crazy out of nowhere peaks where he's running through smokes trying to revenge a teammate. And the timings, that's the thing we talk about. It's so difficult to predict because you never know when it's coming. He's just there, and it's like, well, all right, I'm dead, or I killed him.
Yeah, it was so interesting to watch. And actually, this will be interesting. You have got a demo for us. Now, is this a TyLoo demo?
No, it's not. This is actually one that is looking at MiBR, and it's the only, well, one of the only rounds that they won on that T half. Now, most teams that I've seen, at least in the current meta, when they want to fight for banana control, they'll just extinguish the CT's Molotovs and then posture and then take it, because once that utility is expended, they can't push down. Here, the Molotov will separate barrels and sandbag. It forces a player, if they want to go aggressive, to get stuck and have to take all the fights from the barrels position, or drop back. And you can see here, Bentet completely blind. He's just going to go down, and that's one of the weird pushes from somebody. At that point, he should have given up banana and played, you know, that bomb side a little bit differently. But I just wanted to point out that one Molotov, it's going to isolate the CTs who want to fight for banana control. If one player is already out, your teammate is going to have to spend time either putting out that Molotov, now he's smoked off from you, still can't help you, or they're going to have to just drop back and cancel.
And interestingly enough, it's actually something that Bentet said is really hard to communicate in TyLoo is, I need you to smoke my molly. Those on-the-fly calls, I don't know why I'm demonstrating smoking my Molotov, but it's one of those things that's hard for them to communicate. We do have a bracket for you, because another day, another game. And Sean, this is a blow to MiBR, one that I want to know if you think they can recover from.
I definitely think they can recover from this, but the problem is TyLoo, when you look at the teams in this Legend stage, they're one of the ones that you would expect MiBR to win against. So when you drop games like that, it becomes extremely difficult to come out of the stage.
And let's not forget that TyLoo have now come out of the Challenger stage. They will
more minors.
No more minors. In fact, the next Asian minor for the Major will not feature its headline act that is often TyLoo. They are already locked locked in for the next major. By picking up one win in the new Legends stage, you are safe. And TyLoo have managed to do it versus MiBR. The surprises keep coming. In fact, Sean told me 4 of the 5 challengers have won their opening match. This is going to be one hell of a competitive major. And if you want to check out epics.gg, you can collect and trade your favorite CSGO stars. You can do so on iOS and Google Play, or if you fancy it, check their website, epics.gg. We're taking a break. When we come back, we've got another game for you. It keeps coming, and I want to make sure I get it right. It's Mousesports NIP that's coming up after the break. We'll get to see the Ninjas challenging none other than Mousesports. Join us after the break.